So good morning now.
Can you hear me really well?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Very loud and clear, handsome. Tell me something nice about you.
Are we on right now?
Huh? No, I'm just asking you to tell me something really nice about you. Make me smile.
I like to talk about myself a lot. You know? So I think one pretty interesting thing about me is that I think is so interesting is the fact that I learned at a very early age that the human capital is the most resourceful capital on the planet Earth. You know, and then the human mechanism, I mean, the human embodiment is the most advanced technology in the world. You know, so the more reason why I do not joke with my network. You know, I think quite a lot. There's quite a lot of misconception in the in the world right now in the 21st century. People just care so much about money, you know,
Yeah.
and the truth.
Won't he do it? He said he would. He'll fight your battles for you. They gon' wonder how you sleep at night. Won't he do it? Ah, yes, he will. If anybody tell you something different, you know that's a lie. You gon' look back and be so amazed. How it turned out, it's only his grace. Oh, won't he do it? He said he would. Oh, ain't nobody stopping my shine. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on my side. I'm so bad I thought I'd die, but ain't no power stronger than the one that came and laid down his life. And I got mountains to climb, hey, but the enemy can't stop me, cause there's a calling on my life. So when I'm crying, don't last too long, cause he gon' step in and make it alright. Say, won't he do it? He said he would. He'll fight your battles for you. They gon' wonder how you're sleeping. It's all I do when I made a choice, and today I pay. My heart is full of pain, and how could you understand the way I feel? How could you relate to so much pain? And seems as though nothing can come from me. So today I pray that someone should listen, for nothing should matter. Knowing love grows inside you, the choice is yours. There's a miracle in store. store. Oh, nothing should matter. No one love grows inside you. A voice of love is crying out, don't throw love away. And there's a miracle in store. How could I let go of America? And nothing could ever take its place. And thought I was looking out for myself. Now it seems the pain is all that I have gained. I wonder if I can be your miracle. And I wonder if I can stay you. Hey. Seems as though nothing will come for me. Lord, bless today. I pray that you should come and listen, for nothing should matter. No love grows inside you. The choice is yours. There's a miracle in store. Oh, nothing should matter. No when love grows inside you. A voice of love is crying out, don't throw love away. Yeah. There's a miracle in store. Don't ever throw away your miracle. Don't let it slip away. For nothing should matter. For nothing should matter. No love rolls inside you. The choice is yours. There's a miracle in store. No, nothing should matter. No love grows inside you. A voice of love is crying out, don't throw love away. There's a miracle in store. For you, for you, yeah.
suitcase in your hand, ready to quit this place. There were just too many people with too little left to lose. You were just one over and over again. And if there's any justice in this world, you've gotta keep fighting on over and over. Oh yeah. They say God always forgives us, but can we forgive ourselves if we let our hope die? 'Cause the passion is a weakness, and the silence is a strength. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Hey, 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 ain't no stopping us now. We got the groove. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you know someone who's got a negative vibe. And if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. That's the where they're going. They don't know. Even know. Don't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna get ourselves together. We're gonna polish up our act, yeah. And if you've ever been held down before, I know that you refuse to be held down anymore. Don't you let nothing stand in your way. I want y'all to listen. To every word I say, about it. Ain't no stopping us now. Yeah. We're on the move. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Ain't no stopping us now. Yeah, yeah. We got the groove. Yeah, yeah. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. We got the groove. Ain't no stopping us now. We got the groove. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Break down. Don't wanna stop, please don't make me stop. I don't wanna. Don't wanna stop, please don't make me stop. Don't wanna stop, please don't make me stop. I don't wanna do that. Don't wanna stop, please don't make me stop. S-T-O-P-E-I-N. Come on.
Yes, 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 yes. What a beautiful day. You guys have no idea how excited I am about today. I couldn't even express it. I won't even try. Yes, I am your host, Dionne Johnson. And if I can see you and you can see me, we have half the battle won because we live to fight another day. I want to take a moment and I want to make sure that we acknowledge. Stop, women, young women. Hold up. I got my stuff to do. You got y'all. Y'all got what y'all gonna do. What I gotta do is get my stuff done. He's right here. He's not going anywhere. Yes, he's handsome. Yes, all of those things. But give me a minute. Let me do what I do. Stop. Give me a minute. I'm gonna get to this. He's not going nowhere. Came all the way from Nigeria. He's not finna leave us now. Just give me a minute. Let me do my job. Guys, I am Dionne Johnson. As I said, I'm the host, and this is the only show that was created in honor of the late great John Lewis. John Lewis, who was with Martin Luther King in the movement. And guys, we are here to do great things. As I have someone that everybody's ready for me to talk with, as we said, under the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Yes, thank God for technology. I was able to bring him in. And he's able to sit here with us under the bridge where everything that took place many years ago and things are still taking place, change things for great, that has always made us better and better for it. But as John Lewis said, you have to continue to do good things. You have to continue to get in good trouble, necessary trouble. Why? Because when you see something that's not right, you are supposed to speak out and stand up for what is right. That's the only way change will ever take place and will come for the better and the betterment of us all. And we are all in this, as he said, together. It is a world mission. It's not one country, it's every country working together to make things better, brighter. Is a hope for our tomorrow. And when we talk about future, here's a future generation that is doing great things, terrific things. Guys, y'all have been waiting. You've seen him. You saw the videos. You saw the show commercials, as I call them, and you've been waiting. And he's here. He's sitting with me, and we talked in the background. And he's a remarkable young man. But this is not the first time I met him, so I can say that he is remarkable. He and I have had a meeting before this, and we've talked consistently. Always so humble, always so respectful. I love his name, and I can do this. Y'all can't right now. Me and him are, we like aunt and nephew or something. We family. So I can say Bakare. And guys, when I tell you that Bakare is one amazing young man, not only is he's amazing, he stayed up. Y'all got to understand something. He's in Nigeria. Bakare probably would be already laying down by now, ready to go ahead and go in, because he has an early morning. He's doing so much. Bakare, say hello to the people in America. Say hello to them, please.
Hello. God bless America.
God bless it, and God bless this world. Bakare, tell them your first and last name and where you were born.
My last name is Mubarak.
Okay, say it again. Your first name is what?
My first name is actually Mubarak, and my last name is Bakare. But then I decided to be a rebel, and I turned it the other way around. I flipped it.
He did the thing they do here in America when they're acting and modeling. He just flipped his name. And I love it. I love Bakare. He is a native of Nigeria. The funniest thing that I want to address and get out the way, because I have a lot of tall men in my family. My nephew, my son is extremely tall. My nephew is almost 7 feet. My son played basketball, and so Bakare is 6'9". And it's not y'all saw the commercial. He's bending down under light, the chandeliers and stuff. He is tall. And I found out that he is the tallest model in Sub-Saharan Africa. And when you see him, you do think basketball. And I love basketball. I do. I truly do. But when I tell you that I'm holding, and it's thick. And this is a biography. This is his biography. This is everything that this young man has done. And he was born in the 90s. I mean, aside from modeling, he won Mr. Quora International. And we didn't notice it. Y'all women better look out. He was in the beauty pageant. He won. But if you look at between us, you see that, look at that handsome face. You see that. I even love the outfit. But Carl, how'd you get in a beauty pageant? Let me ask that real quick. Let's give them some laid back fun right now. How did you feel being in that beauty pageant?
Oh well, it was pretty interesting. I'd be enthusiastic about it because what was the highlight for me was the fact that I represented my mom's local government in Kwara State. That's the north central part of Nigeria, the geopolitical zone. And at the time, it was my third year, going to my fourth year at the time, right? I was actually in my fourth year. Yeah, I was in my fourth year in university. And I had to represent. It was a great honor for me to represent my mom's local government in Kwara State. And good enough. I was diligent enough. I won all of the tasks, and God will have it. I emerged the win, and I made my local government proud.
He said, God will have it. You made him proud. Yes, you did. Did you want to do it? Was it something you did for your mom, or was it more for you as well?
So basically, it was a thing for me because you see, before then, prior to that time, 2010,
Mm-hmm.
in 2010, I took a role in a film. That was the first ever role I took, so this producer uh, by name Olufemi Ogunsanwo and Udoka Onyeka had, put together this production, and they came to my school. It was in a boarding school at the time, you know, and I was in my senior secondary school one, and they pulled up in my school to do an audition, and I joined. I just did that very effortlessly. I was casted, so that was a big deal for me, and I thought I needed to put my heart to it. Then I delivered, and I was one of the major roles. The name of the film is The Red House 7. So this, like the entire film, is centered around how boarding house experience.
So the name of the film was what? I want to make sure they hear that. Say that real clear. Say it
The Red
again.
House 7.
The
The Red House 7.
the red.
House 7. 7 boys from a red house, basically.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
get that, 7 boys from a red house. So Red House 7 or ZR7, aka ZR7.
Like
So I
that.
was one of these young boys, one of these junior boys, one of the 7 junior boys. The role I took was Folks. Folks means Tokumbo in Yoruba, which means someone who came from overseas. That's the meaning of
Oh,
Tokumbo.
someone who came from overseas. I like that.
And that's a Yoruba name. And uh, I took that role, I embodied it just like I had done that before. So it felt like that literally just brought out something that was interesting, something that was somewhere hiding. So at that point in time, I realized how comfortable I was in front of the camera. So I always wanted to be in front of the camera again. So that was one of the things that prompted the participation in the pageantry. And good enough, I was groomed as a pageant and simultaneously as a model at the time.
I like
That was
that. I
in
like that. I like
Right.
that.
So the reign as a pageant queen at the time was a year, which was 2015, 2016. At the time in 2016, I was leaving school, but in 2017, when the such thing as the U7, the U call, in Nigeria, just after the university, you tend to serve the nation, serve the motherland, basically. It's called the NYSC, the National Youth Service. And I was literally the tallest couple at the time, in Nigeria in 2017. And at that point in time, I started off, I kickstarted my modeling career.
Wow. I like that. And so at that time, then too, you were the tallest.
Say it again.
I said at that time, then as well, in 2016, you were the tallest at the time. But
Yeah,
you,
I was 6'8" at the time, and coincidentally, I was about the same height with the model uh, that had the world record, the Guinness World Record, as the tallest model in the world, the tallest professional model in the world, and she doubles with another record of the longest limb in the world. And her name was, and her name is Evelyn Eve, at the time. And coincidentally, again, couple years after, I'd grown an inch taller, 6'9", and I coincidentally happened to be the same height with the recent world record as well. Ekaterina Lysina, a Russian actually, who doubles with gold records as well, the longest limb and the tallest professional model.
wow. And guys, keep in mind, I want to list everything that this brilliant young guy has done. Yes, he's an actor. Yes, he's a model. Um, he was appointed as the 6th Regional Global Chamber of Commerce Ambassador of Business Liaison and Education in the cultural worldwide. I couldn't make this, I wish, but I couldn't make this up. He is an African cultural ambassador, a youth ambassador, African art promoter, and an international, he's a humanitarian. And then it's funny because they're letting it be known that he's leveraged his unique status to promote culture while incorporating art, humanitarianism, tourism, lifestyle, and fashion. And everywhere you look, I'm serious, in Nigeria and in other countries, he's there, meeting with other leaders and doing things. So why, I say this for a reason, and we both know that with everything that you are doing, most importantly, you could have just got caught up in being a model and an actor and left it at that and just went and partied when everything was over. What inspires you to do so much good?
Thank you very much for that question. That seemed a little bit thrilling, I'd say that, you see, for me, right, I'm going to say this again. I've said it a couple times before. The first time I said this on national TV was, I think, 3 years ago. I said that on BBC. I could remember I had an exclusive and I was asked the same question. And I said, modeling for me is not the ultimate. Rather, it is a deployment strategy to position myself for global impact. That's the ultimate, right? And the more reason why I've been able to leverage my unique status as a model to promote the African culture, whilst incorporating art, tourism, and all of my social cultural activities. The fact that I looked critically into the African fiascos, and I realized that one of the issues is the fact that it's so unfortunate, right? It breaks my heart when I say it, but that's what it is. We do not know our history. As African descents around the world, we do not know enough. I think we are, for much of a better word, I would say we are naive. And like one of my advisors would say, if your history is like your compass. So the moment you lose it, you're going to be lost in the wilderness, of course. So I thought at this point in time in our lives as African descents, we need to understand, we need to know who we are. We need to understand the essence of our existence. And we need to know beyond the transatlantic slave conversation, that narrative, that narrative. We need to, who were we before that time? There's so much to Africans. Africa is the cradle of humanity. We need to know this. We need to understand this. We need to get all of this unmistakable facts, right? And I decided to embody that ideal African man that I want to see, to that ideal contemporary African man that I want to see, and that's exactly what prompted what I do, all of my social cultural activities and my endeavor, holistically, and that has been the drive. That has been the major drive, pretty much.
Wow. And the other thing, though, of all the stuff I've listed, Bakare, of all the stuff that we've just, talked about, and then to hear you say this, I hope a lot of young men and young people are listening to you. See, because you feel like that, you feel and you show that you know that you have an assignment in this world that's deeper
Right.
than that's deeper than the modeling, than the acting. There's a whole nother purpose. You're using that as I would say, a spaceship to get you higher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to the
And if
great.
you permit me to say this, not to interject rudely. one of my greatest assignments that I think is so divine is to bring about unity, right, amongst the Africans on the continent and Africans in the diaspora. I think now more than ever is the most critical time for that unification, if you ask me.
Wow, wow. And guys, as I continue to do these interviews and talk to people that are involved in the World Fashion Exhibition, the more I know that there's more we all can do. Bakare is the Goodwill Ambassador. I'm not surprised. I'm not. For the World Fashion Exhibition, Africa is now. How did you feel when you found out that you were asked to be the Goodwill Ambassador representing Nigeria?
In honesty, I was so elated. I was pretty glad. I was so humbled. It was so humbling. But at the same time, I wasn't so carried away with the joy. Rather, I was more focused on the duty, on the assignment. Because of course, this is more like a clarion call, if you ask me. And it is, of course, a privilege, to be a Goodwill Ambassador to the World Fashion Exhibition. And I think it is just so divine, that the subject matter is Africa. And it says Africa is now, and I think truly Africa is now. Africa has always been an inspiration to the world, since inception, the back in time. Africa, as the world has always drawn inspiration from the African continent, from music to cuisine to the fashion to every single thing. Look at the Egyptian hieroglyphics, which actually brought about the concept of the emojis that we now use in today's world, in the 21st century. Look at the concept of the swastika. That was actually some symbol from the Egyptian Empire, and so many things across the world. The world has constantly and still doing it, constantly derived inspiration from every single thing African, from every Afrocentric thing. So I feel that Africa is truly now, and of course, one of the most thrilling things is the fact that the advocacy for child or against child mortality, child mortality, as well as empowerment of women. It's a critical time in the world today that we are today. One of the greatest advocacy going on around the world is gender equality. That balance. That I'd say inclusivity. And the very interesting thing, or the dimension that the World Fashion Exhibition has intended to take it is, going the route of doing this by leveraging on fashion. And I think that is very, very brilliant, and that was something I commended them for, the team for, kudos to them, as well as something really critical. I think that's like one of the most critical advocacy point currently around the world, which is green, going green, sustainability of the continent, sustainability of the world, of the planet, I beg your pardon, which is sustainable couture, the advocacy of sustainable couture. And I think that's the World Fashion Exhibition just aced it. And then I think that's a triple decker, amongst other very interesting things that the World Fashion Exhibition stands for. So I was so elated, and I felt so privileged, to be a part of this, to be a part of history, because for me, one of my watchword has always been impact. And I think that's pretty much a modus vivendi for me, if you would ask me. So I think it's just a whole new down, if you ask me. Right.
I like that. And one thing you said that really touched me, and I haven't heard before. I will say to you, in compliment, that I love the way you express why Africa is now. From even the way we use social media with emojis, and and thank you, because young people, that reaches them and it helps them understand where everything. There's a saying that I used to hear when I was young: all that is old is new again.
That's pretty profound.
Yeah.
That's so profound.
Yeah. And it is, because young people come, young people, and I'm around them, as I said, my own and family, and they act like it's something new, because sometimes I hear some people say, well, what does this emoji mean? What does that mean? Oh, please catch up with you. Come on, you're behind the times. No, we just forgot. And for you to make sure that, and be young, you're an old soul, because you're letting it be known this was around. And that was how they communicated, and how, it is. I forgot. But it is a proven fact. Yes. So thank you for that. And I want you to know, when my boys reach out to you and say, thanks, Bakare. When I say, but still, in retrospect, that's what it takes. And I can tell that you go out and you speak a lot. And I love the way you help us understand what the World Fashion Exhibition is doing, and what it is about. And I see now why you are a Goodwill Ambassador, without a doubt. Bravo to them. Perfect choice. What is a busy day like for Bakare?
Oh well, I'll say that, of course, I start off my day with of course, say my prayers, in the morning, pretty early. In recent time, I started working on my diet a lot. I'm trying to stay really healthy. I tend to take a clove of garlic early in the morning. Of course, do some exercise, have some food. And then of course set out when necessary. Attend to a couple meetings, touch base with my partner, in person of Dr. Sheikh. We co-founded Expedition 54 together. Coincidentally, I am 26, and then he's 50 years of age. He was a former medical doctor, who practiced for about 8 years, and then we found ourselves, and then he realized we had so much in correlation, right? And we looked critically into how much we have been stereotyped as Africans. The crazy news on the media across the world. I can tell you for free, those things are not real. They are so much exaggerated about the African continent. Till today, so many people still believe the African continent is just a country. They do not realize that we've got 54 African countries. And that's exactly what inspired the name Expedition 54, the name of the company, Expedition 54 Limited. So the 54 came from the 54 African nations, right? And the vanguard of our endeavor is the, basically creating a platform to connect and integrate African businesses with businesses around the world, laying particular emphasis on African diaspora businesses. We know for a fact that so many African diasporas, so many business around the world want to connect to the African continent. They want to have franchises on the African continent. They want to do business. We have so much resources, contrary to popular opinion, you know. So many people see Africa as a dead zone. I'll tell you now, point blank, it's a whole big lie. The African continent is so resourceful, so beautiful, so resourceful. The humans are so resourceful. My nation, Nigeria, happens to be the most populous nation in the world. Sorry, I beg your pardon, the most populous Black nation in the world, you know, and the most populous on the African continent. And I'll tell you this, in 5 years' time, or in less than 5 years' time, Africa is going to be first on the index of the youth population of the world. That's so huge. That's so much opportunity, so much potential, the human capital, apart from the natural resources that we have, you know, that we amass. So by virtue of that, we know for a fact that so many people want to connect. African descent want to connect back to the source. So much cases of ancestral tourism, so much cases of people trying to know where they truly come from. They have been marginalized for so long. They want to connect back to the source. We are happy to receive you guys wholeheartedly, right? And that's one of the reasons why we have created Expedition 54, to connect you with the genuine businesses when you intend to do businesses on the continent. You know, to be your eyes and ears on the ground, you know, to show you the beauty.
So that is Expedition 54 Limited. I like that. You guys founded this in 2021. What are your hopes for this, let's say in 5 years?
Like I always say, I do not have caution to optimism. You know, I want to go as high as possible. I want to fly as high as an albatross or a Pellegrini falcon. I want to fly so high. I want to go.
I like that.
I really do not believe in limits. You know, I believe the world sets standards. You know, what makes us think we cannot set new standards? So I believe that there's a vision, right? And the vision is the ultimate. The ultimate is being a global leader in what we do, connecting. And I think there's two parts of this, you know, aside from the business part of it. There's a very deep cultural part of it, right? Which is connecting the African continent with the diaspora, you know, with the African diaspora. And as well as, you know, I think we are tired of people associating Africa with poverty. That's a lie. That's a blatant lie. Look at the Fort Knox, the greatest reserve of gold in the world that resides in England. Does England make gold? Do they have gold resource? They don't. Where did they get this gold from? Where did they get this so much resource from? It's from the African continent.
Yes.
But you say we are poor. That's a fallacy. You know, so I believe we should come and do business with us. Don't bring us food and think we are hungry. You know?
I love that. And hearing that from a perspective of someone I know that is in Africa, that knows, grew up there. I know for a fact what that can do when you hear these things, because people tend to, that's like with America. They think that we're about Cadillac cars, spinning rims. You know what I mean? Just that rap music and because I hear a lot of people that move here from other countries will say, you know, I thought it was like this. You know, everybody has money. We blow money. We waste food. You know what I mean? And we party. And there's so much more to, you're right, to everything. And you're right, it's time for young people like you to speak out. And that's in every country, to say what a country really needs and what's going on and how we can make that country better. But, and to do away with the facades and the lies and the perceptions, because there are more people that won't visit Africa than will.
Absolutely.
And you know this. So the only way some will ever know is for generations like yourself to make it known.
Absolutely.
You know, because I have had friends that are, I have several friends that are from Nigeria that are here in America working, doing well, go home to visit. And I've had people ask. I've never asked because I already knew. You know, when you get to know people, you just, I like to get to know people before I assume.
Right.
You know,
right.
seriously. Because for everything they show me in Africa, I can show you something like that here in America. Am I making sense? Mm-hmm. Seriously. If you show me a shack, I can show you a shack. If you show me somebody living out in the streets or homeless, I can show you that here.
That's right.
You know, so for everything you show, that is part of every country.
Mm-hmm.
It happens in the world, but why would you let that be the end all and be all of what is really happening? Why won't you show the great? You know why? Sometimes that's how you know it's good. And we're getting ready to close it out, but that's how you know it's good. What do people do with good things? Selfish people. Hold it for themselves.
Absolutely.
I have a friend, and you're going to laugh. She has this joke when it comes to food. If she's somewhere and we're all around and somebody brings, say, a dessert out or something, and if she really likes it, she has this thing where she'll say, walk over to each one of us, we haven't tried it yet. It wasn't good. I wouldn't go near it. Are you listening to me? So if she tells 20 of us, about 15 of us are going to believe her. So we go to the other. And meanwhile, you know, she's consistently, we come back and seemed like the dessert really right. I thought it wasn't good. It's not, trust. And it took us a while to understand what she was doing, but it was so good, she wanted to keep it for herself. And it sounds crazy, but you tell me that's a proven fact, right? That's what they do. If someone's telling you something bad, someone needs to ask, why is it so bad, but you're still over there reporting and doing?
Absolutely. You know, Fenty's here in Africa now. We're waiting for them to do the financials. Let's know how much they're stripped off. You know, in just a very short. We've got the consuming power. It's so glaring. This is the 21st century. Informations are all out there. You know, like you said, we just need to do better as Africans. You know, to say the great things, to lift our countries, our nations on high, right? The continent of Africa is so beautiful. There is so much beauty in that diversity. Trust me. You know, and we are here to receive you all wholeheartedly. And we would personally facilitate a pilgrim certificate for every single person who comes through, you know. And we will be glad to show you around, show you the enormous opportunity, so much opportunity. It's endless, trust me, it is so endless.
Wow.
And I think you all, especially African descents, should come home. This is the cradle, you know?
Wow, guys, I want to keep this young man so long. He's such a great, anyone ever told you you are another Malcolm Martin, you know, seriously, Mandela, wow. Let me do this for my for the young women. He's a good man. Listen, what I want to know, you are coming to America. Paco's already let me know that you will be here in LA for the World Fashion Exhibition. I'll try to fight the girls out for you. I do the best I can. I got you, nephew. I got you. I promise. I'm going to do my best, okay? But if you see me going down, just help me lift me back up, okay? But still, in retrospect, Paco thinks a lot of you. Um, how do you feel working with the great Paco de James?
Oh, well, I think Paco is a very genuine person. I'll say that, right? I feel very honored. Paco is a very humble person. Right from the first time he heard about me, saw my profile, and he said, I need to speak to this guy personally, right? And then he asked to touch base with me, over the phone. And then a meeting was set up, and then we had that conversation. And he said this in grand style, He said that to me that it was so humbling, that he wants me to be a Goodwill Ambassador to the World Fashion Station.
I agree with him.
Right.
I agree with him 115%.
So passionate, very passionate about eradicating child mortality. He says that a lot. You can see the fire in his eyes when he says that, when he's so passionate about that, and he really wants to see this come to an end. And he wants to work with people in the homeland. He wants to, he's so impact oriented. And I think that's something we have in correlation. He's a fantastic person. He's so phenomenal, I'll say.
I love it. I love it. Before you go out, because guys, he's tired. He's tired. His day starts at 5 a.m. You know somebody with this much is doing a lot. I can't hold him long. I will get a couple of common questions out for you guys of fun. One thing I will say is when I asked him about favorite music in America, Michael Jackson was someone that was mentioned. He is a true diehard, dedicated to what he believes in, and I sense that. And I remember when a friend of mine was telling someone about a TV show, and I remember a professor said, if you got time for watching TV, a lot of TV, you're not doing something that's productive. A lot of TV, meaning consistently every day, all day. Bakare is work, but when you want to have a little bit of fun, to just decompress, because for someone that is so dedicated and always on the move, trying to make things better, you have to take a moment for Bakare. What do you do for fun?
Oh well, I'm a very I'm a travel enthusiast. I really want to be a globetrotter. And I want to do all 4 African countries before I'm 45. And I really love to learn as well. It's so funny. That doesn't really seem like fun, but I love to learn. So invariably, in a bid to even have fun, I still love to learn whilst doing it, right? So if I have to see a movie, I love to see sci-fis, science fictions, wild case files, crime case files, ancient documentaries, and it just allows me relax, and at the same time, simultaneously I'm learning as well. So I really love to learn. I love to travel. I love good food as well. I love to. I think I'm one of the greatest extroverts that I know in the world. And what prompted that is the fact that I know for a fact that the human capital is the most resourceful capital on the continent or in the world, as where, right? And I believe that the human mechanism is the most advanced technology that you will find. So by virtue of that, I know that, and I believe so strongly, I hold that belief so dear to my heart, that wherever you want to be or wherever you are at the time is literally as a result of the people you met and the people that's met you. So it is, you are actually charged with that responsibility. And it's so pertinent that you keep those networks, you keep those contacts. So you need to keep them with your life, literally. You know, you need to keep a very healthy interpersonal relationship, because that is the ultimate, you know, that's exactly what brings you money. That's what brings you privileges. That's what brings you resources. If I wasn't privileged to have met Paco, I wouldn't have met you in return. And I believe this is a whole chain of greatness. I'm going to be in the United States. I hope to do a lot of cultural exchange, you know, back and forth, you know. And truly, I think Africa is now.
Wow, that is beautifully said, and you're right. He's right, and what happens when there is a destiny? I always say, and I'm like you. When I started this, and I'm celebrating 3 years in this month with my production company, and I said when I started the very first show, I said I didn't want to do a show just for America, for the United States. I wanted to do something that was going to incorporate the world, because see, when you think about it, we think about the element and we think about God. He didn't create just one thing.
Right.
It said he created the world. And so in retrospect, here I am now, and I'm interviewing and I'm talking and enjoying wonderful people, but the people that he is placing in the path all have the heart and determination that connects with what I want, as far as not selfishly, but what I want for the world, which says he places us in the time and place and space we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there.
Right.
And we are all here to do something great. And I think it's greater than a lot of people can realize, but they will come to see. Sometimes when you start the journey, that I always say begins 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. Sometimes people don't understand that journey. Why are you walking right now? Why aren't you sitting? You know, but that's not my assignment. And I'll say this with you: to fulfill a divine purpose, you got to answer when you call. But you got to know when you're being called. Bakare knows when he's been called. Now, the last question I'm going to ask Bakare for you women: if there is one thing when the time is right that you are looking for in someone to share your life with, what's the main thing, the number one thing that you're going to be looking for? I think I know what you're going to say, so it's a challenge for me, but I'm going to ask.
I think the most important thing, right? The ultimate thing is compatibility. I believe so much in compatibility. You don't need the best people in the world, you know. You only need you need good people, you know. You need people who are right for you. You don't need the best people in the world. You know, in honesty, you don't need the best people in the world. You just need people that you are compatible with, people who you could relate on the same realm, people who you could connect to, people who understand who you are, you know what I mean, beyond the physical, you know, people who literally just effortlessly flow with you, you know. So I believe so much in compatibility, and I think it's a watchword for me. You know, it's a big deal. A whole lot of people have broken homes right now across the United States, across the world, here in my country, in Nigeria, as well. You know, not exempted. People have broken homes. People get into a relationship or get into marriage. So I've got a friend. I remember he said something really, really pathetic. Right? He happens to be a wedding photographer, right? And cinematographer. But he stopped at some point in time. And I asked him, why did you stop? He said to me, you would be so glad, all fired up, for a couple, and in 5, 6 months they've broken up. Why is that? Because they are truly not compatible. You hear the pop culture, they say a match made in heaven. And I think that's exactly what it is. A match made in heaven, basically.
I love that.
People you could relate on so many levels. People who know what you meant, by just mere expressions. So yeah, that's exactly what it is for me.
And I think that is amazing. I'm.
Right.
Can I adopt you? I know you're grown now, but I'd love to add you to my other three beautiful sons for real. But I think you. I think you summed that up perfectly, and that is a perfect note to end on. He has given us so much in such a short time. Can you imagine what he's going to give to this world? What he's giving? Wow, I am so honored. I can't express how honored I am that our paths have crossed in this lifetime. And to think that I might not have met you is scary. So I am so glad, and we are not through. This. So I want my text. I look forward to them. I love hearing from you, please. And I'm going to text you as I do. And we're going to speak again, talk again. And oh, yes, we are going to spend time together when you get here, without a doubt. Right. So get some.
And I look forward to meeting you in person as well. I sure do look forward to meeting you in person.
I can't wait. It'll be my honor. One of the great.
Ultimately, I'd like to ask this one question. Mm-hmm. Have you been to the African continent?
I have not. Am I coming? I am. Don't worry.
And we are going to welcome you personally. I will show you around. So I do such thing as exclusive tour guiding, for African diaspora who's come home for ancestral tourism, facilitate the issuance of certificate of pilgrim, for being on the motherland, as well as, diplomats and a couple individuals and corporate entities as well. So it is going to be of utmost pleasure to receive you on the motherland, here.
Oh, it's man. I'm coming. A good friend of mine, we were talking, and I was talking about your interview, and I had interviewed Vivid, I had interviewed Osha and Seychelles, and
right.
A friend of mine said, you of all people must go to Africa.
Absolutely.
And so absolutely. I said, you know what? COVID happened. I said, but even more now, I already wanted to go beforehand, and now I know I want to go. And don't run from me, because as I plan my trip, I'm gonna reach out to you.
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Yeah, because I would love to go where I at least know someone, so I can get the best experience ever. Yes.
Absolutely.
So that I promise you. I promise you that. Without a doubt. It would be a pleasure and an honor. And to go, everyone I know that has come back with a light in their eyes, like I've never seen. And this is what they say. And I'm going to let you go on this, but they say, I've never felt so at home. Wow. And they really say that. I'm serious. They say, I've never felt. You're going to feel it. They always tell me that you're going to feel it when you go. You'll know. Right. And that gives me chills. So I want that feeling.
You should, man. You should experience it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very pertinent. And of course, there are fiascos just as much as we have the same. We have issues in the United States, in China, in Russia, there's no perfect society. No entity has it all figured out. But of course, there is so much beauty in our diversity. So much, that people don't talk about. I think it's so unfair that people do not talk about it as much as possible. The media do not talk about it. They just sabotage the African image so much. Trust me, it is far away from what you guys hear. Take this from me. It is so much beauty, so much bliss, so much, that it's just so interesting. It's so, like the humans, Africans are so hospitable, contrary to popular opinion. So you need to visit. It is very important.
Oh no,
it's very important.
I believe you in every breath because like I said, I've talked to different people. I have friends that are from Nigeria, from different parts of Africa, and we really just get along so well. And then, like I said, I already feel it. Even when I speak with you, when I spoke with Vivian, each one you and there's a kindred connection.
Right.
That you can't explain. But I promise you, I'm already sold, and I definitely will come, my friend. And I welcome that journey.
Fantastic.
Yes. Promise me you're going to get some rest. I cannot thank you enough. We will be talking. Don't stop talking to me. Don't. We're going to continue to talk because I cannot wait to visit with you, my friend, my close friend, in person.
Right. Thank you so much.
And please have a blessed night. May God keep you and protect you.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great one, my friend. Yeah.
I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. Now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. 'Cause life was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes silence can seem so loud, but there are miracles in life I must achieve. But first it's got to start inside of me. Oh, if I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe that I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. Hey,